Lecture 1: Introduction to Bioresources and Their Management. Welcome to the course on bioresources management. As the global demand for food, medicine, fiber, and fuel increases, the need to efficiently manage our biological resources becomes more urgent than ever. Bioresources, referring to plants, animals, and microorganisms that are valuable to human life, are the backbone of agriculture, pharmaceuticals, forestry, and environmental conservation. In this module, we will explore the meaning and scope of biological diversity, the genetic richness within species and ecosystems, local species of cereals, legumes, and fruit trees, the significance of genetic diversity in crop improvement, the challenges of genetic erosion, the importance of protecting and utilizing plant and animal genetic resources. Let's begin by examining the foundation of all bioresource management, biodiversity. Lecture 2: Understanding Biodiversity and its Dimensions. 1. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity, short for biological diversity, refers to the variety of life forms on Earth, including plants, animals, fungi, and microorganisms. It is observed at three fundamental levels: genetic diversity, variation of genes within a species; species diversity, variety of species within a region; ecosystem diversity, variety of habitats, communities, and ecological processes. Each level of biodiversity is critical to ecological balance and the sustainable use of biological resources. 2. Genetic diversity. This involves the variation in genes among individuals of a species. For instance, two maize plants may look alike, but differ in traits like drought tolerance or pest resistance due to genetic variation. Genetic diversity enables adaptation to changing environments, disease resistance, crop and livestock improvement through breeding. 3. Species diversity. This refers to the number and types of different species present in a region. High species diversity increases the stability and resilience of ecosystems. 4. Ecosystem diversity. Examples include tropical rainforest, mangrove swamps, coral reefs, and savannas. Each supports different species and provides unique ecological services like carbon sequestration, water purification, and soil fertility. Lecture 3: Indigenous crop species, cereals, legumes, and fruit trees. Preserving local species of plants is central to bioresources management, especially in agriculture and food security. 1. Local cereals. Cereal crops are the primary source of carbohydrates for most populations. Local cereal species include sorghum, sorghum bicolor; millet, e.g., Pennisetum glaucum; fonio, Digitoria excellis; African rice, Oryza glaberrima. These species are drought-tolerant, adapted to local soil conditions, and hold cultural significance in traditional agriculture. 2. Local legumes. Legumes fix nitrogen, improve soil fertility, and are rich in protein. Key indigenous species include copia, Vigna unguiculata; Bambara groundnut, Vigna subterranea; African yam bean, Sphinostales stenicapa; pigeon pea, Coginus cajun. 3. Local fruit trees. Fruit trees contribute to food, nutrition, medicine, and income. Examples include baobab, Odonsonia digitata; African star apple, Chrysophyllum albidum; velvet tamarind, Dialium guineense; African bush mango, Avengia gabonensis. Conservation of these species ensures agrobiodiversity, climate resilience, and sustainable rural livelihoods. Lecture 4: Importance of genetic diversity in crop improvement. Genetic diversity is a core asset for breeders and scientists aiming to improve crop traits through crossbreeding or hybridization. 1. Hybridization and crossbreeding. Hybridization involves crossing different varieties or species to produce offspring with superior traits, such as faster growth, higher yield, better taste, resistance to pest or disease. 2. Genetic combinations. In a single species, diverse gene combinations result in variations in height, flowering time, leaf color, and disease resistance. These variations serve as raw materials for breeding. Example: crossbreeding disease-resistant maize with high-yielding maize can produce a hybrid variety with both traits. 3. Significance for long-term sustainability. Without genetic diversity, crops become more vulnerable to climate change, pests and diseases, environmental stress. Preserving diverse gene pools ensures future breeding options and food system stability. Lecture 5: Genetic erosion and loss of variability. Unfortunately, the world is experiencing significant loss of genetic variability, also known as genetic erosion. 1. What is genetic erosion? Genetic erosion is the loss of genetic traits and gene combinations in cultivated or wild plant and animal populations. This happens when traditional varieties are abandoned for commercial hybrids, natural habitats are destroyed, pollution, climate change, or overharvesting disrupt populations. 2. Consequences of genetic erosion. Loss of rare traits useful for disease resistance or adaptation. Increased vulnerability of food crops. Reduced breeding options in future. 3. Examples. Local yam varieties being replaced by fast-growing hybrids. Disappearance of drought-tolerant millet due to low market demand. 4. Solutions. Establish gene banks and community seed banks. Promote on-farm conservation. Support traditional farming systems. Lecture 6: Disease resistance and utilization of genetic resources. One of the key roles of bioresources management is to harness genetic diversity to improve disease resistance in crops and animals. 1. Plant disease resistance. Through breeding programs, scientists identify and use genes that confer resistance to pathogens like fungal diseases, e.g., rust, blight, bacterial wilt, viral infections. These genes are incorporated into high-yielding varieties to improve productivity. 2. Animal genetic resources. In livestock, genetic resources help enhance resistance to parasites, heat tolerance, reproductive efficiency. Examples. Indigenous cattle like Norma show resistance to trypanosomiasis. Local chickens adapted to free-range systems with strong immunity. 3. Sustainable utilization. Avoid overexploitation of genetic resources. Promote equitable sharing of benefits among breeders, farmers, and communities. Integrate traditional knowledge into scientific practices. Lecture 7: Forest resources and biotechnological protection. Forests and economically important plants form a major part of terrestrial bioresources. Biotechnology is now playing a key role in protecting them. 1. Biotechnological tools. Modern biotechnology can identify disease-resistant genes, improve seed germination and growth rates, produce tissue cultures for rapid propagation, monitor genetic integrity. 2. Forest plantation protection. DNA fingerprinting can trace illegal logging. Genetically improved seedlings resist pests and adapt to degraded soils. Micropropagation helps restore endangered species. 3. Examples of economic plants. Neem, Azadirachta indica pest control and medicine. Morina oleifera nutrition and water purification. Eucalyptus, pulpwood and fuel. Bamboo, construction and craft materials. These resources must be managed sustainably to avoid biodiversity depletion. White Heavy Checkmark Module 1 Summary. In this first module of the course on bioresources management, we have discussed 1. The concept of biodiversity and its 3 main levels. 2. Indigenous species of cereals, legumes, and fruits. 3. The importance of genetic diversity in crossbreeding and hybridization. 4. Genetic erosion and strategies to combat it. 5. Disease resistance traits in crops and livestock. 6. Biotechnological advancements in protecting forest plantations and economic plants. This knowledge provides the groundwork for understanding how genetic and biological resources can be harnessed and protected for sustainable development.